Hey guys, SirVern back here, and today I am reviewing Evil West for the PS5. I'm going to go through the same 5 categories I always do: graphics, performance, gameplay/story, replayability, fun factor, and then give them a score 1 to 10, average them up. So you're going to see here, I start off with a bunch of screenshots, and we'll start off with graphics. You're getting a good look at it right now. Graphics are not game breaking. It's not really pushing the PS5 to its limits. It does have a fidelity mode, 4K 30, so you can make it look a little prettier. I played where it's 60 frames a second. I think it upscales to something. I watched a little bit of Digital Foundry's synopsis, but I give it graphics a 7.25. I really struggled with it. You're going to see some gameplay really early on. There may be not even slight spoilers, but you'll see gameplay. So if that bothers you, you might want to stop watching. But you'll just get an idea of the combat, how it works, and that kind of thing, and how the story is presented to you in a little later. Next category is performance. I only had maybe 1 or 2 hiccups with frame rate when just an insane amount of things were going on screen. So performance only, I think it was 2 notable hiccups out of the whole experience. This is maybe a 10 to 15 hour game, so I'm going to give performance a 9.5. Nothing game breaking, obviously. I completed it just 15 minutes ago, and I love the game. Spoiler alert! So I loved it. But next category is gameplay/story. I'll have the most to say about this section. So gameplay is a third-person shooter, as you can see. It gets more and more difficult. There's a ton of different kind of enemies, and you have to fight them in different ways. And I heard one guy say or tweet, I don't watch reviews until I beat a game. I don't want it to influence my opinion, and I don't like when I even see little critiques of the game until I beat it. But he said the guys can be bullet spongy. Solid Rev said that. He's a pretty good YouTuber. They're not. I mean, see, I don't mind enemies being tough, hard to bring down. I don't think they're bullet spongy. Your guy gets extremely powerful as you keep going on, and maybe he just didn't power up his guy right. It has a skill tree, and you can kind of make your own character. Make him good at certain things. Better at certain things, and powerful in different ways. So you can also play this game in co-op, and what this is, it's basically a very linear game. You go from corridor to corridor and fight a boss. Next area, corridor to corridor, fight a boss. You'll run into puzzles, easier puzzles, and then pretty difficult. I played this game under normal, and I love that it has difficulty-based trophies. I'll get to that here at the end, but the game is phenomenal. The enemies are unique. It's challenging. I mean, they'll throw guys like this, guy with the shield, along with a ton of, smaller guys coming at you, just getting in your way. And this is super early on, so it gets insane. I didn't want to give away anything even remotely far along the story. As you can see, I'm level 4. I'm real low. Anyway, gameplay slash and then the story. Let me see. So gameplay is phenomenal. I loved it. I love every weapon. I love that they utilize every direction on the D-pad pulls up another weapon, another skill. You have so many different options and ways to take down an enemy. The game's creepy a little bit, but it is awesome. You just feel like a BA. It kind of reminds me of like Gears of War, the grittiness kind of. And vampires, you don't really see a whole lot of vampires. Everything's zombies, so it's kind of new and refreshing to have, a vampire story instead of a zombie story, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like the Bad West, whatever it was called, with Will Smith back in the day. It is a cool story that just makes amazing gameplay shine. So it is amazing. I give it a 10 out of 10 in that category. Replayability. I'm really hard on this category. To me, a perfect replayability game is a strategy game you can play forever. So keep that in mind. But this is really high up there for me. This has 2 or 3 different difficulty settings 1 is like the hardest of the hard, and it's just going to be insane to beat it. Uh, so you know you have 1, you can beat it under hard, and then whatever the hardest is, an evil, whatever. Um, so you can beat the game another 2 times. There's collectibles that you can find. Loved it. You can beat the game probably 3 times. I beat it under normal. That's what I usually do with any game, is play it under normal. I think that's the way the developers intended you to play it or beat it the first time. But then it just unlocked New Game Plus. I give it an 8.5. That's respectable. Um, you're going to get your money's worth out of this game. It is incredible. It's being outshined right now by the Callisto project. I can't pronounce that game, God of War. Few huge games right around, and it's sad that this game won't get the recognition that I think it deserves, because it's amazing. Um, so gameplay slash story 10, replayability 8.5, and then the last category is fun factor. I loved it the whole time. I beat it in like 4 or 5 sittings. I'm really busy right now. Got finals coming up, but man, I made time for this game. I knew it was kind of coming to an end tonight, and I wanted to get back into it, see what happened. Loved this game. Um, I can't wait to attempt the harder difficulties with a buddy of mine. You can go through it co-op. I believe the whole game co-op, and it does say that it increases the difficulty a little bit. So I think that's also great. I think it's cool that it's kind of like Elden Ring, where if you bring someone else in, it'll increase the difficulty. Um, but honestly, I would probably prefer it just to be a completely single player game. I'm just weird like that. I just like completely single player games. But if they're going to add online, I like them to do it like that. Um, and yeah, like I said, trophies are. I'll get more into the trophies at the end. So graphics, I give a 7.25. I really struggled with that category because they're just okay. Sometimes the character models look kind of but the environments look good, so 7.25. Performance, 9.5. Gameplay slash story, a 10. Replayability, 8.5. Fun factor, a 10. You average those up, you get a 9.05. I know that's a weird score, but just over a 9. One of my favorite games I've played all year. It brings me back to an older game, something like Gears of War. Um, I just loved it. I love the atmosphere, I love the characters, like the story. Gameplay is super addicting. You just feel like a badass after beating this game. And some notes I wrote. Story was good. I should have written amazing. I thought the story was really well done. Reminded me a lot of Gears, like I said. Um, and like I said, it's very linear. You know, there's a little exploration you'll do, but a lot of it is going to be place to place to place, which is nothing wrong. Sometimes it's nice to not have an open world game. They have their place, right? But not every game needs to be a massive, landscape where you're just finding caves, and this one you go where you need to go and you beat the guys you need to beat. I really liked that. Another thing I liked is the puzzles are there, but they're very simple, and they get you thinking a little bit, but they're not going to hold you up. And I might make a video just about puzzles in video games that aren't puzzle games. Um, I'm not a big fan of puzzles in games unless it's meant to be a puzzle game. Like, if it's a puzzle game, sure, that's fine. But anyway, I'll make a video about that. But loved Evil West. One of the best games, like I said, I've played all year. I highly recommend it. I'm sure it'll go down in price pretty quick because I don't see a lot of people talking about this game. But if you see it, especially for like $40, go pick it up and have a buddy pick it up. You can beat the game together. But don't pass this up. You would regret it, for real. So, SirVern out.